Please welcome to the stage the Senior Vice President and Chief Advancement Officer at the International Institute of New England, Alexandra Weber.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the International Institute of New England's 44th Golden Door Award Gala, honoring Dr. Yvonne Greenstreet. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name's Alexandra Weber, and I am proud to serve as the Senior Vice President and Chief Advancement Officer of the International Institute of New England. When we last gathered to celebrate the Golden Door Award, we remembered the brave women who started the organization more than 100 years ago with one simple belief deeply rooted in our region's identity, that welcoming newcomers strengthens our communities. But let me also say that while many families arrived over the past century seeking opportunity, we also recognize that they arrived and settled on land long stewarded by Native American tribes, and that others were brought to this country through injustice of slavery. They and their descendants are an integral part of our communities and our shared American story. Those varied histories remind us that the story of this country has never been simple, but it has always been shaped by people who pour their dreams, talents, and traditions into this nation. And yet, this centuries-old belief in welcoming is being tested yet again. Across the U.S., immigration policy is shifting quickly, often in senseless and indefensible ways. This past year, the U.S. abruptly closed its doors to refugees, abandoning thousands of men, women, and children fleeing danger. Programs that once offered stability to families seeking safety have faced funding cuts and unreasonable restrictions, or worse, have ended completely. People that once dreamed of protection, freedom, and opportunity have faced threats, detention, separation, and deportation. A ray of hope is that here in Massachusetts and across New England, our leaders and communities have stepped forward in very large and small ways to reaffirm that welcoming immigrants to our region and our nation is important to its survival. State leaders have continued to invest in immigrant legal services and English language programs. Employers across our region are recognizing the indispensable talent and determination that newcomers bring to our workforce. And volunteers, donors, and neighbors have shown through extraordinary support that families arriving here are not alone. At the International Institute of New England, we see the incredible impact of this spirit of welcome every day. In the last year, IINE served over 12,000 refugees and immigrants from 68 countries. It's a lot of lives. Many have arrived after enduring some of the worst experiences this world has to offer. But here they found open arms and meaningful support. And we have helped people in so many ways. IINE taught 1,375 students in our ESOL classes, logging over 100,000 hours of instruction. We help people prepare over 2,000 immigrants to enter the workforce. We moved 60 families out of shelter and into permanent housing. We assisted almost 3,000 people apply for immigration relief and helped 351 file green cards, a step that has become vital to their safety in the U.S. And we've done this critical work with our community by our side. Last year, 405 volunteers collectively provided 11,600 hours of support to newly arrived refugees and immigrant families. Some of them are with us tonight. This is what welcome and belonging looks like. So tonight we celebrate the legacy of brave and resilient newcomers who have come before us, but we also celebrate the people who are shaping the future of this nation. The Golden Door has always symbolized possibility. It represents the idea that when we open our doors to diversity, courage, and new ideas, our communities become stronger. Dr. Yvonne Greenstreet represents that ideal in action. As the CEO of Alnylam Pharmaceuticals, her work is advancing groundbreaking therapies that are improving and saving lives around the world. Her story, one that resonates with so many of us in the room tonight, remind us that when we welcome talent and ambition, the impact reaches far beyond one individual. It benefits all of us. Tonight we celebrate, we also commit to ensuring the promise of welcome that built this country continues for the next generation of families seeking safety, opportunity, and belonging. And it is a commitment that requires all of us. So I'll say from the start that tonight we're seeking to raise $100,000 in the room to support our communities and our immigrant families. Because organizations like the International Institute of New England rely on the strength of host communities to continue this work. Your contribution makes it possible for refugees and immigrant families to find stability and opportunity in New England. We are deeply grateful that you are here tonight and that you continue to stand with us in this mission. Now I'd like to introduce you to a group that beautifully reflects the spirit of community that brings us together this evening. The Back Bay Chorale's English for Speakers of Other Languages chorus is part of the Chorale's Bridges program, which uses music to bring people together across languages and cultures. Through this program, English learners from around the world come together to sing, practice their English, and build friendships. Participants meet each week at the Boston Public Library, learning songs in English and discovering something powerful along the way. Music has a way of creating connection, even when words are still new. For many singers, this course is not just about learning a language. It's about finding belonging, confidence, and joy. And that spirit feels especially fitting tonight. Please join me in welcoming the Back Bay Chorale's ESOL chorus.
Moi, c'est un prof qui apprenait tout partout. Côté me passé, c'est étranger. Mais moi, certain, le map jambé l'autre bord. Ma joine côté pour me poser. Moi, prends l'autre bord, la caille papa moi. Fatigue chemin fini pour moi. Le machambé, l'autre bord rivière. Maman va bam cœur pour me poser tête moi.
Oh
please welcome IINE's President and CEO, Jeff Thielman.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Thielman, and I'm privileged to be the CEO and President of the International Institute of New England. Welcome to our 44th Annual Golden Door Award Gala. I want to thank Rika and the talented singers of the Back Bay Chorale, Bridges, ESOL Choir. We look forward to welcoming you back later this evening. One of the best ways to learn English is to sing, and I think they sang beautifully. You know, listening to those songs tonight reminds me of something powerful we see every day at IINE. Across our 3 sites, you hear multiple languages, different levels of English, and the voices of people working diligently to make themselves understood in a new language. What begins as a barrier emerges as a beautiful mosaic of human beings who come together from different cultures and traditions to support one another. This community is only possible because of the partnership with everyone in this room and all of the folks you represent. So let me begin with gratitude. First, thank you to our sponsors, particularly our lead sponsors, Alnylam, John McQuillan, Triumvirate, and Graham Robinson. Thank you. Your generosity makes this evening possible, and your commitment sustains our work throughout the year. I also want to thank the members of our board of directors led by Efdjeen, who's been with us for 9 years. He's in his last year because of a term limit, so thank you, Avak. Our leadership council and our host committee for helping bring this evening together tonight. A special thank you goes out to our host committee co-chairs, Julie Kim, Graham Robinson, and Anthony Consigli, and to the entire team at Alnylam, which has just been terrific to work with. Your leadership and dedication have made this evening possible, and we're deeply grateful. So before we go any further, I would like the host committee, the board of directors, and leadership council, all of you to stand up and be recognized. I want to thank our staff, and I hope you get to meet them tonight. They're all around the room. I hope you get a chance to talk to them and ask them about our work. They are the heart and soul of IINE. I'm privileged to, there you go. I am privileged to work with this incredibly talented, dedicated, and compassionate group of folks. I learn something new every day in each conversation with them, and I'm grateful to work alongside them to steward this mission. We also have a number of volunteers in the room with us tonight who dedicate their time and talent to support our newest neighbors. So I'd like our staff and our volunteers just to stand up for a second to be recognized. Tonight is a celebration. It is also an opportunity to reflect on the past year. And it has not been an easy one for the people we serve. But if there's one thing I've learned in my decade at IINE, it is that every year brings new challenges to the world of immigration. Policies shift, conflicts emerge across the globe, more and more individuals are forced out of their homes to pursue safety. But one thing has never changed. The people who come here seeking a new beginning are some of the most resilient and determined people you will ever meet. Many have endured war, persecution, and years in refugee camps before ever reaching our shores. And when they finally arrive, they start again from scratch. They learn a new language. They find jobs, often in fields that are entirely new to them. They help their children navigate a foreign school system. And slowly but surely, they rebuild their lives. What often gets lost in the national conversation about immigration is just how much newcomers contribute once they have been given the chance. At IINE, we work closely with employers across New England, and we hear the same thing again and again. Immigrants are among the most dedicated workers they hire. They fill critical roles in healthcare, construction, manufacturing, and hospitality and retail. They start businesses, they buy homes, they become integral and generous community members. And over time, the economic contributions of refugees and immigrants far exceed the initial investments we make in helping them get started. This is not just good policy, it is good economics. Here in New England, we know that our region's future depends on welcoming talent, energy, and innovation from around the world. That broader truth is reflected in the leader we are recognizing tonight. Dr. Yvonne Greenstreet represents what becomes possible when talent and ambition come together at the highest levels. Her leadership is helping to drive scientific breakthroughs that are improving and saving lives around the world, and under her leadership, she has taken Alnylam to new levels of excellence. Tonight, Yvonne joins the ranks of many extraordinary Golden Door Award honorees. Several are with us this evening, including Dr. Victor Zhao, President of the National Academy of Medicine. Dr. Shrikant Datar, Dean of Harvard Business School. Dr. Noubar Afeyan, founder and CEO of Flagship Pioneering and CEO of Moderna, and chairman of Moderna, and the CEO of Moderna, Stefan Bancel. And with us tonight also is Belinda Tremere, the wife of our 1999 honoree, the late Henry Tremere. As our good friend and leader has said, Noubar Afeyan has said, success often depends on the ability to push forward in the face of the unknown, which beautifully summarizes the daily journey of our nation's immigrants. Over the past year, inspired by those we are privileged to serve, the International Institute of New England has pushed forward into the unknown. With unanimous support from our board of directors, we purchased a permanent home for IINE in Lowell, letting everyone know that in these challenging times, we are standing stronger than ever. We are providing additional assistance to people lawfully admitted to the U.S. whose status is in jeopardy. We join efforts to successfully stop, at least for the time being, the termination of temporary protected status for people from Haiti who represent the future of the economy of this region. And a lawsuit we filed in partnership with other refugee providers and 6 brave refugee plaintiffs has stopped the government from unlawfully detaining fully vetted refugees. Litigation is not our standard form of advocacy, but standing up for refugees and immigrants is. Because of your generosity, we were able to meet the moment. And tonight, we are asking you, as my colleague Zan said, to stand strong in your commitment. Thanks to the board and the host committee, this gala has been extraordinarily successful. Our goal is to raise an additional $100,000 in the room this evening to ensure that we can continue to protect the rights, safety, and opportunities of refugees and immigrants in the year to come. Every dollar will help provide critical services, housing support, English classes, job placement, and legal assistance that can mean the difference between uncertainty and stability for a family. If you are able, we hope you will join us in making a gift tonight, and that you will continue to stand alongside the families we serve tonight and every night. And with that, I want to thank you. Thank you for believing in the mission of the International Institute of New England. Thank you for supporting the 4,000 refugees and immigrants in our care and all of the refugees and immigrants who make New England what it is. And thank you for helping ensure that New England continues to be a place where newcomers are welcomed, valued, and given the chance to succeed. Because when we invest in immigrants, we are not just helping individuals. We are investing in the future of our communities, our economy, and our country. Thank you very much. Please enjoy your meal. We'll be back shortly.
Please welcome back Zan Weber.
Okay, hello again. And I hope that you are enjoying dinner and conversation. So we're going to get started again. As Jeff reminded us, when we meet newcomers with opportunity, the benefit is immense. When immigrants' talent and drive are activated and not lost, we strengthen our community and economy time and again. A clear example of this is IINE's Certified Nursing Assistant Training Program. Healthcare providers across New England are facing an acute workforce shortage, especially on frontline roles. Nationally, nearly 1 in 5 healthcare workers are born outside of the U.S. Immigrants are already sustaining our healthcare system, and we know they will be essential to its future. But to close this workforce gap, newcomers need U.S. training and credentials. That's where our CNA program comes in. Through classroom instruction and hands-on clinical training offered at no cost to qualified students, participants gain the experience and credentials they need to succeed in high-demand healthcare jobs. Since 2019, our LOL program has trained more than 120 CNAs, with more than 70 additional graduates in Manchester. These programs open doors to stable careers and strengthen healthcare systems in urgent need of skilled workers. For some participants, this is a new career path. For others, like the woman you're about to meet, it's a pathway back to work they already loved. Efdjeen came to Massachusetts from Haiti. Before fleeing escalating violence, she was studying pharmacy on a pre-med track and beginning her medical internship. When she arrived in the US, she had to start all over, but she didn't have to do it alone. Through our CNA program, Efdjeen rebuilt her credentials step by step and rediscovered hope in her future. As you listen to Efdjeen's story, I invite you to keep this in mind. Stories like hers are the exception, made possible by countries willing to open their doors and communities willing to care. Please turn your attention to the screen. Thank you.
People think immigrants has the choice to become an immigrant, but it's not always the case. It's not easy to restart. It's not easy to try again. I'm proud to be Haitian. I was a pharmacist selling baby formula, which was one of the best jobs I ever had in Haiti. And then while I was doing that, I went to med school. But my job as a pharmacist is not an office job. I had to be out all across the country. The travel was dangerous. It became a big problem for my safety. The dangerous is mostly get kidnapped and get killed, rape, or get shot just like that because you are in the wrong place at the wrong timing. Our neighborhood has become really dangerous because the gang is just coming. You always hearing gunshot is really traumatizing. I had a whole goals, a whole journey ahead in front of me, and then I was like, I don't want to leave everything behind and start over, not sure what it's gonna be. Maybe if my family leave, I could stay and continue with my goals. But them leaving me behind was not an option. I have to leave my country. I have to leave my life behind me.
Efdjeen never gives up. She works hard for everything that she has. She came to the United States and had to start from step one all over again, which can be really disheartening for a lot of people. But she has humility, she has perseverance, and she has the motivation.
When I came to the United States, my only thought was, I'm getting out from the danger. I won't have to fear for my life. Every time I'm taking a step out of my house, my family, we heard about IINE. I told my case manager my story about my medical background. I said I'm a pharmacist and I have a diploma as a doctor. And this is when she proposed me this certified nursing assistant program, which it's covered by IINE. And I was like, yes, why not? I needed a start. But I know clearly where I want to go. I had my goals. I needed a start, so I started CNA. I continue with medical assistant, but the main goal is anesthesiology. I'm passionate about the pain management, and it's one of the ways I feel like I could help. The first step is become an RN. In preparation for the RN program, IINE helped me to get into the chemistry and biology class right now. I'm really grateful to IINE to have the opportunity to be with my family, to have the opportunity to feel safe. I have more clarity about my goals. It's because of IINE. I'm proud of my resilience. I'm proud of the fact I'm really strong.
Efdjeen will continue to keep going higher and higher in her career. I know 100% she's going to keep climbing all the way and become a doctor here. The sky's the limit for her.
I believe I'll be able to help my community some way that meaningful enough to be remembered or to even leave a legacy. I know it's a long way to go, but I will get there.
Please welcome to the stage Suitcase Stories storyteller, Efdjeen Amda Senius.
There's a lot of light. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for watching my story just now. Don't worry, I promise not to repeat everything. But I do want to share a little bit more about my unexpected twist and turn that have shaped my journey. First, I need to be honest. When I was asked to do a short speech, I was a bit nervous, but not nervous because of the speech, but because, one, I didn't know how to make it short. And two, I didn't know which of my many stories should I tell. So I tried my best to do it short. After thinking about it, my choice became clear: my lifeline. When we were kids, maybe in first grade, adults always ask us, what you want to become when you grow up? And I'm sure we all remember that famous question. And our answers are always so confident, at least most of the time. We say things like, I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna be an engineer, I'm gonna be a chef, an artist, or a teacher or an astronaut. In our mind, it feels like that's simple because of what we were told. So we go to school, we get good grades, we go to college, we graduate, and boom, we become that person we dream of. And the rules were easy to follow, allegedly. Like a straight line from point A to point B, nice, simple, and organized. But if only it were so simple, my sweet summer child. Yeah, that was not my line. And probably not the story of many of us here, especially us immigrants. My line was not straight at all. My line had many curves, detours, and countless obstacles. And sometimes, it honestly felt like the work completely disappeared. But even then, I still had a dream, and I'm still working hard to turn that dream into reality. At first, I was not quite sure of what I wanted to become because I was curious about everything. I loved art. I also loved the idea of becoming a businesswoman. So I started small. I baked cookies with my mom and my sister. We sold them at school, at the airport with the employees and passengers. And yes, they are really, really good cookies. We had loyal customers. But I realized what I loved the most was helping people. So I thought about my mom. It always been her dream to become a doctor, but she couldn't. So I thought, okay, no pressure, I got this. So, like we are told, I tried to keep up with the good grades, and after high school, I was accepted to the University of Notre Dame in Haiti. That was a great news. But now, here comes the first curve of my life. Instead of med school, which was my goal, I got accepted into the pharmacy school. I thought, okay, no problem. I'll switch my major next year. But then, surprisingly, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the idea of becoming a pharmacist, and I loved it. So I stayed, I graduated, and I become a pharmacist. While working as a pharmacist, I keep selling my cookies, of course. And in my free time, I was an active member of an international leadership organization as volunteer, GCI. Honestly, I don't even know when I had time to sleep. But still, I wanted to become a doctor because I knew I wanted more. And life gave me opportunity. I got accepted to the University of Chorale in Haiti. This is where I obtained my medical degree. That's good news, again. But then, COVID happened. Yet another curve in my life. But that curve brings something special in my life. This is when me and my sister, we discover our passion for painting. So we start to paint. But still, I remain focused while working as a pharmacist, helping my family, supporting my sister's education because she had big dream too. She wanted to become a finance woman. So, and I was going back to medical school, all at the same time. I really thought, I've got this. But then, life changed again. The situation in my country became more dangerous as guns take over. But still, I had to finish my internship because I was in med school. Every week, I have to travel for hours between my job and the hospital. And sometimes, because of my lighter skin complexion, that made me an easy target for the kidnappers. Just to make it there safely, I had to hide under the bus so I wouldn't be seen. I wouldn't be kidnapped. Even then, I didn't want to stop my internship. I was too close to the finish line where I was gonna become that doctor. So I couldn't give up. So I complete my internship and I become that doctor. But when I get back home, everything got worse. My neighborhood was attacked, my home was destroyed, my family had to run, and my doctor journey was imposed. And I had no more choice but take another curve. But thanks to the effort of my lovely auntie, my family had the opportunity to come in the United States. At first, I have to be honest, I said no. I said to my family, you can go. I'll stay. Because I thought, I survived this far, so I can survive more. But my family feared for me. They convinced me to leave my country and leave my journey behind. And eventually, I did. Because I couldn't carry the guilt of keeping my family worry about me. So we came here, and we had to start over from zero, like real zero, not the zero you start from the bottom, like kind of zero. It was a real zero. But at the same time we came here, we felt so many mixed feelings. We felt gratitude and joy because we were with our family, safe, breathing new air with no gunshot sound. But also at some point, we also felt a bit lost, uncertain about the future. Sometimes I even felt depressed. But we never give up. My family, my mom right here, she's a boss monitor, and she loves it. My sister, she's pursuing her dream as a finance career, and she met the love of her life, which is my brother-in-law right now, because she got married, of course. And my dad, he's learning English, and honestly, we all learning English every day, all together. And me, I started again too. From the bottom, I become a certified nurse assistant. Then I become a certified clinical medical assistant. Now I'm working as a CCMA at Lower Community Health Center, and most of my patients are refugees and immigrants, just like me. So I feel really, really helpful there. But also, I'm working toward a physician assistant program because I firmly believe that in one day, I'll become an anesthesiologist. I know it's not easy. It won't. It won't be fast, and it's definitely not a straight line. But I'm still moving forward. Today, I'm standing here before you. After all those twists and turns, it's something I will never have imagined. If my journey have taught me something as this, life doesn't move as a straight line. It bends, it shakes you, and it surprises you. But like an arc, it curves towards something better until you reach your destination. All you have to do is keep up in your mind. This is a journey of courage, step backs, and faith that keep you moving forward. And I'm deeply, deeply grateful to God who always have been with me and always will. I'm grateful for my family, grateful to be reunited with my loved one, grateful for the people I've met here, people who have become part of my family. And last but not least, I'm especially grateful for this organization, the International Institute of New England, for helping me for start again and continue forward, even when I couldn't see the road. So thank you. Thank you for helping me continue my journey. And my final message for you, no matter how many curves are still ahead, you just keep going and you learn from them. So thank you very, very much, and may God bless all of you.
Okay. So I had some prepared remarks, but too much has happened already. I don't know if I can stick to them. That was amazing, wasn't it? Can you imagine leaving your country because it's unsafe and having to go to another country and start, and I don't think any of us even, wow, thank you. I don't think any of us have any idea what she's referring to when she talks about a zero that is less than zero. That's quite amazing. I also want to take a second to comment on Jeff. I thought his remarks were very inspiring. I know that, and I'm going to come back to this in a few minutes, I know that when you give money charitably, you want to make sure that it is going to good use, and I am here to tell you that money that you give to IINE goes to exceptionally good use. This is an incredibly well-run and well-led organization that you should feel very confident in giving to. I also was struck by the choir that we heard. I looked it up online. It's a fascinating idea that people who are looking to learn English join a choir where they will speak in English, where they will sing in English, I should say. And you know, what it illustrates is that if you're going to have a community that is welcoming to and that is actually built off of the idea that immigrants will come into the community and be a key part of the community, you need a lot of community infrastructure. You need all sorts of community infrastructure, including choirs. The people who are interested in singing will come in and learn English through singing. It's a really neat idea. Okay, so where am I going to start on these remarks? Why don't we talk about this? First, actually, let me congratulate Yvonne. She is one of the great leaders in biotech at one of the very great biotech companies. She is an immigrant to this country and a great example, not that CEOs are the only examples of this, but a great example of the incredible contributions that an immigrant can make to our country. So congratulations, Yvonne. When I attended this event last year, I was really struck by many of the things that I saw and heard, and it inspired me to take out my phone and think, you know, what is the largest donation that I could feel comfortable making as a person at that time? Because the sort of, you know, the work that IINE does intersected very much with my own personal sense of things that matter to me, things that seem to be important topics at that time and still today. And it felt like sort of the exactly right organization at the right time. I'm going to ask you all in a few minutes to think about to what extent you can contribute and support this organization and help people like Efdjeen become integrated into the community here. In order to help that, and this is a little bit complicated, but I'll explain it to you, when you do get a chance to give tonight, my family and I will be matching every contribution that's made in this room up to $100,000. Thank you. And I think most people in this room know Tuan. Tuan has agreed that once this room gets to 100,000, he will add 50,000 on top of that. And to provide more incentive to be generous, if this room gets to 150, so excluding Tuan's contribution, but 150 raw from the room before we get to the matching, Josh Boger has agreed to add another 25,000 on top of that. So by my math, and it could be wrong, I am just a lawyer, if you all get to 150,000 in the room, I think that's $375,000 that's going to be contributed. So let's talk about what those contributions can do. I think there's going to be something on the screen that's going to show this, but if not, I can just say it. $5,000 can help provide legal support to defend 10 refugees against detention and deportation. $2,500 can help provide a month of groceries for 3 refugee families. $500 can help provide Know Your Rights training to refugees. And $250 can help provide a refugee with transportation to their job. So I'm going to invite you to take out your phone, scan the QR code there or on your table, and join me in supporting IINE tonight, and Tuan and Josh as well. It takes just a minute to give, but the impact is enormous. If you were moved by Efdjeen's story, if you're moved by what you heard tonight, I would really encourage you to think about what you would feel comfortable contributing to this great organization. Let's meet this moment together. Now, please welcome me in welcoming back to the stage the Back Bay Coral Bridges ESOL Choir.
All over this land, to sing all over this land. It's the moment of justice, and there is justice, freedom, love. It's the sacred golden bond between my brothers and my sisters.
All right, friends. We've been singing for you, but I am from Finland, and in Finland we all sing together. So please, if you can join me, can you stand up and sing with us, everybody? I'm going to teach you the song. The lyrics are very, very easy. So all the only words that you need to know are, you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Hey, this table is here exemplary. They're standing up and singing. Can we all join and sing with us? The tune is easy. Can I have a B flat? Boom. So it's gonna go like this. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And now you can sing with me, meet, love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead one more time, go. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Repeat. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on.
Last repeats. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Woo! Thank you, everybody.
Please welcome to the stage Julie Kim, incoming CEO of Takeda Pharmaceuticals.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you tonight to introduce this year's Golden Door honoree, Dr. Yvonne Greenstreet. In our industry, we celebrate scientific breakthroughs, discoveries that extend lives and open new frontiers. But tonight, I'd like us to consider a different kind of breakthrough, one that happens when a leader's courage, conviction, and authenticity opens doors for others, exemplifying what's possible. Yvonne is that kind of leader. I remember hearing her story as told by her daughter as she was honored as the HBA's 2024 Woman of the Year, a recognition that speaks not only to her impact in science, but to the kind of leader she is. I've also had the privilege of sharing the stage with Yvonne as we've talked about the future of the life sciences industry and the jobs and the workforces that we're building. Anyone who knows Yvonne knows she possesses an unwavering sense of purpose, a leader who leads with the conviction that science should always serve people. She reminds us that our greatest measure is the impact we have on patients and the families across every border and every community. As CEO of Alnylam Pharmaceuticals, Yvonne has helped transform pioneering science into medicines that now reach patients in more than 70 countries. But what's even more remarkable is the journey that shaped her. She was born in London and raised in Ghana and the UK, where she trained as a physician. She then came to the United States to expand her impact. That path across continents and cultures reflects the very spirit of the Golden Door Award. It's a powerful reminder that representation matters. For so many of us, seeing leaders who share our backgrounds and experiences changes what feels possible. In Yvonne, we see a physician who never stops putting patients first, a scientist who believes in the promise of discovery, and a leader grounded in innovation and purpose. For the next generation of scientists, physicians, and leaders, Yvonne is a beacon, showing that leadership in science belongs to everyone. And as an immigrant myself, I've personally felt the powerful impact of seeing CEOs like Yvonne. It provides fuel for my own journey and for those of many others. Because when leadership is more representative, we are more innovative, our perspectives broaden, and the solutions we build together become truly transformative. The Golden Door is not just about arrival, it's about the journey. It's about the lives we touch, the communities we strengthen, and the futures we help make possible for those who come next. Yvonne has done all of that and so much more, and I'm thrilled to be honoring her tonight.
I grew up in a large, close-knit family. My father is from England and my mother's from Ghana. I remember my mother saying to me, you can do anything you like, but when you pick what you're going to do, make sure that it's something that is going to have a positive impact on humanity. I became interested in medicine at a very young age. In fact, I remember distinctly at the age of about 9, I had a wonderful opportunity to spend some time with a physician in a clinic in Ghana, following her around. From that moment on, I decided that I wanted to become a doctor. I very much enjoyed practicing as a physician, but I realized that as a practicing physician, you could only really help a few patients at a time. And I really wanted to be in a career where I could impact more than a handful of patients, potentially impact millions of patients. I decided that I wanted to go into an area where I could combine my passion for medicine, my interest in science, and my desire to build an impactful business.
Yvonne was a leader at two major global pharmaceutical companies, both GlaxoSmithKline and Pfizer. She herself, as an immigrant, obviously came here from the UK, but via Ghana as well, and brings this remarkable international perspective to what we do as a business. I mean, she realizes that patients are everywhere in the world, and the businesses that we build need to be global, need to be thinking about patients all over the world for us to be successful in our mission.
Yvonne and I share a similar perspective that diversity is something that works because it's good for business. It's not just good for humanity, it's also good for business. Having different ideas, different perspectives makes the organization better and ultimately makes the business more successful. During this time, we really need to be embracing people who come to our country and have the potential to make our country better, our industry better.
Yvonne listens with grace, no matter whether your ideas are great or not so great, and enables us to build on each other's ideas. But also, she does it like a good conductor. She allows the right instrument, right voices to be heard at the right time. It gives us this beautiful music that is Alnylam.
The message that Yvonne sends to the younger generation, to women, to immigrants, is one of hope and aspiration. When you can see someone who looks like you in leadership roles, that is hugely inspirational. And I know that I look up to her too.
I see myself as a human being, first and foremost. A human being that has had roots in a number of different countries and cultures. Getting this award from IINE is deeply personal. I do hope that getting this award does two things. On a personal level, reminds me of the journey that I've been on, but also reminds me of the accountability, the responsibility that I have to open that door to other people.
Please welcome to the stage the 44th recipient of the Golden Door Award, Dr. Yvonne Greenstreet.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening. And thanks to Julie for those very kind words. Long before I immigrated to the United States, I was already living between two worlds. As you heard, I spent much of my childhood in Ghana, growing up in a large family, in a home filled with different languages, religions, and perspectives. My father was English, my mother Ghanaian. They met as students in London and worked as professors at the University of Ghana in Accra, where we lived. When I was around 9 years old, my parents made what I now understand to be one of the most difficult decisions of their lives, to send their daughter, their precious daughter from Ghana, to a boarding school in England. Now, Ghana at the time was full of promise, but also uncertainty. Political instability made even small dreams fragile. And my parents wanted me to have something less fragile: security, education, possibility. So I left the warm, noisy comfort of our home for the gray skies and unfamiliar corridors of Ashford School in Kent in England, trading my little sundress for a woolen sweater, and quickly discovered that English winters were then not for the faint of heart. Now, looking back, that journey from a nurturing home in Accra to a foreign classroom in the English countryside planted in me the seeds of resilience and curiosity that would guide everything that has followed. It also gave me a new way to see. When you live between places, when you see the world through an immigrant's eyes, you notice things that others might miss, like the quiet warmth of teachers and schoolmates that may not have been readily apparent. Now, as you heard, in my early 20s, I became a physician, and this was the realization of a childhood dream. I worked as an OBGYN in London, caring for women and families in some of the most joyful and vulnerable moments of their lives. It was deeply meaningful work, but it also awoke in me a deeper curiosity. I began to notice differences in the health journeys of patients from various backgrounds and communities. I found myself wondering whether we paid as much attention to the woman with limited English or the woman wearing hijab. And these questions stayed with me. They led me to dream of having a broader impact, not only helping the hundreds of patients in my care, but perhaps hundreds of thousands more. And that journey took me to business school in France, where I was surrounded by a dynamic body of students from more than 40 countries. And there, I became captivated by the possibility of developing new medicines. Over the next 2 decades, I built my career in the pharmaceutical industry and grew into leadership roles. There were obstacles along the way, of course. Women in executive positions still encounter assumptions about what a leader should look like. But those obstacles are not what define my story. When you are pursuing something meaningful, you find a way forward. The questions that guided me from Ghana to England and from medicine to the frontiers of drug development eventually carried me across yet another ocean, this time to America. And I came because America is the cradle of innovation. America is a country that respects science with stable public institutions, a culture that celebrates audacity, accepts failure, and prizes the courage to try again, a society that welcomes new ideas and the new people who bring them. I came because I believed that this was a nation that was built not on privilege, but on potential. A place where it didn't matter where you began, only how boldly you dreamed and how hard you worked to make those dreams real. And I came because I knew that this was the best place in the world to realize my dream, to pursue medicine and help others. A dream that began as a vague sense of calling for a little girl in Ghana and became a driving sense of purpose that has fueled every step of my journey. America gave me a chance to learn, to grow, and ultimately to lead a company like Alnylam, where we're developing medicines that don't just treat disease, but change and sometimes save lives. Not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but potentially millions of lives. And Alnylam itself is an American success story. We were founded nearly 25 years ago in this community, and we have advanced relentlessly through a gauntlet of setbacks to realize the promise of Nobel-winning science discovered just a few miles from here. Curiosity opened the door in our long quest to turn RNA interference into a new class of medicines, but resilience has been the price of admission. Ours is an American success story, precisely because this quest has been enabled from the very beginning by the contributions of those who have joined us from all over the world, from India, Russia, Germany, Vietnam, and dozens of other countries working towards a common goal. My story, too, is a testament to what happens when a country invests in science, in education, and talent, when it keeps its promise to make opportunity accessible to all, wherever they come from. That is the story of my life, and it is, at its heart, an American story. We're living in a golden era for biomedical innovation. In just 2 decades, we've mapped the human genome, developed immunotherapies for cancer, transformed HIV into a manageable condition, pioneered mRNA vaccines for COVID, GLP-1s for obesity, and we are now unleashing an even more promising wave of breakthroughs for conditions that once felt out of reach. Alzheimer's disease, Huntington's disease, rare inherited disorders. Yet at the very moment when scientific possibility is expanding, when medicine is capable of delivering unprecedented hope, the foundation for enabling these breakthroughs has become more fragile, eroded by an exodus of scientific expertise from our institutions, cuts to basic scientific research, and moments when decisions risk drifting away from the evidence. And I know how quickly progress can be lost. When data is dismissed, when public health becomes divided, when the doors that once welcomed the world begin to close, we all lose. The erosion is not abstract. It affects our health, it affects our futures, and it affects America's place in the world. I say this not out of criticism, but out of conviction. I truly believe in this country and its unique capacity to renew itself and align itself with its highest ideals. I still see America through an immigrant's eyes. It's not perfect, but it is precious. My journey from an anxious 9-year-old leaving Ghana to leading a biotechnology company was made possible because America chose to believe in the power of knowledge, opportunity, and inclusion. I have to say, I worry that the path may be harder for the next generation of innovators, the dreamers who arrive here with the same curiosity, resilience, and aspiration that carried me. Sustaining opportunity requires care. It requires commitment. It requires courage. And that is why the work of the International Institute of New England matters so deeply. 100 years ago, its founders could not have imagined the world we live in today. And yet the mission of the organization has never been more relevant. And supporting this mission is not an act of charity. It is an investment in hope. America made my journey possible. And with that comes a responsibility to stand with organizations like IINE, who protect what makes this country exceptional. For every immigrant child looking toward this nation with possibility in their eyes, let us keep open the door that was open for me and so many others, wide, welcoming, and golden. So thank you to the IINE for this extraordinary honor. Thank you for opening doors, for believing in possibility, and for allowing me to be part of this remarkable legacy. Thank you.
Congratulations, Yvonne. Your leadership and talent are an inspiration to us all. Good evening. My name is Efdjeen, and I am the chairman of the board of the International Institute of New England. Thank you. Tonight is bittersweet for me personally. As Jeff mentioned, this is my final year on the board. I've served 3 terms of 3 years, and my term limits are up. So I will be leaving the organization fondly, and maybe coming back after a hiatus. But this is an important evening for me. I have to leave the organization on a good footing. I am an immigrant myself. I was born in Beirut to Armenian parents at the height of the Lebanese Civil War. When I was just 2 months old, my mother and I fled to London, leaving my father behind to close out our lives. He worked for the national airline, it so happened, and his escape plan was simple and desperate. As rockets and bullets flew by, he gathered family photos from the apartment and my mother's artwork, drove to the airport, handed his keys to a colleague who had coveted his little orange Mini Cooper for years, and begged the agent to give him a standby seat on the last flight out to London. He boarded that plane and left behind his home, returning to visit only decades later. That story has stayed with me my entire life and has stayed with my family for our entire lives. And it's stories like my parents and stories like Efdjeen's that inspire my commitment to this organization. They remind us what courage looks like, and why the work of the International Institute of New England matters so deeply. That is what makes the Golden Door Award Gala so meaningful. It unites us not only in honoring the remarkable achievements of immigrants like Yvonne, but in opening doors for those still searching for safety, opportunity, and belonging. And tonight, you have done exactly that. I am thrilled to share, but we're a little short. Thanks to the extraordinary generosity, we have reached, unbelievably, $94,000 in our $100,000 in-room goal. This is on top of the $1.6 million we all raised on our journey to the gala. But to make the match, obviously you all know the rules, I won't repeat them. It seems we only need $6,000 more. So let's get that QR code somewhere. Oh, perfect. Okay, my friendly QR code, so that we can do that. This means that over $1.6 million will immediately go to work, supporting legal services, education, job training, housing, and healthcare for thousands of refugees and immigrants across New England. To our sponsors, our partners, supporters, and friends, and of course, our amazing staff, thank you for making this evening such a success. Thank you for believing in the mission of IINE. And thank you for being part of this community. Good evening.